Hello, and welcome back to Alex's ESL World. I'm Alex, and this is my second video on American English pronunciation. The first video was about how to pronounce American vowels. This one is about how to pronounce American English consonants. This is how I speak, but there are many variations in English. The hardest part, in my opinion, is vowels, and we're already done with those, so let's get started with the consonants. To start off, I'm going to introduce you to voiced and voiceless sounds. I'll talk more about voiced and voiceless sounds in a later lesson, but I need to explain a little bit about them now. You can see these words over the top row. All they mean is that some sounds are made by using your voice, and some sounds are made by pushing air through your throat. These first two sounds are the B and P. To make these two sounds, you need to do the same thing with your mouth for each one, which is putting your top lip and your bottom lip together and release some air with your mouth, like this. B, B, and P, P. Did you notice that your mouth did the same thing to make these two sounds? The only difference is with B, you use your voice, and with P, you didn't. Try this. Put your fingers to your throat and make the B sound. B, B. Did you feel a little vibration? That's what it feels like to make a voiced sound. Now touch your throat and make a P, P sound. This time, you didn't feel that vibration. This is voiceless sound. The only difference between a B sound, B, and a P sound, P, is that with the B, you use your voice, and with the P, you don't. So we call that voiced and voiceless. Now practice with me. B, B, but, web, web. I've tried to come up with some examples of the consonants in all the positions, beginning, middle, and end. Let's try the P. P, P, pin, pin, spin, spin, tip, tip. Both web and tip end with something called a stop. That just means that we don't push air out at the end of the word. Many words end like this. Let's try those examples again. This time, think about voiced and voiceless, and also words that end with a stop. Ready? But, there's a stop. Web, web, another stop. Pin, pin, spin, spin, tip, tip, another stop. Got it? Tip, tip. There are many letters that have these voiced and voiceless counterparts. Let's look at some now. As you can see, D and T work the same way. D is voiced and T is voiceless. Listen carefully to these. The English D and T are not made exactly the same in some languages. Spanish, for example. When the Spanish make the D and T sound, the tip of the tongue touches the back of the top teeth. The back of the top teeth. In English, the tip of the tongue touches just behind the teeth, on the roof of the mouth, when we make a D or a T sound. Practice these sounds with me. D, D, do, do, odd, odd, t, t, two, two, sting, sting. If you speak Spanish or Farsi, don't let yourself put a vowel sound before that ST. We don't start with a vowel sound. Practice it many times slowly, and you'll correct yourself and you'll be pronouncing that much better. Let's do this last example. Bet. Bet. That, you might remember, is a stop. Bet. Okay? Let's go. Now you're going to see some unusual IPA symbols. The first one here looks like a D, but the other one is the symbol for the sound zh. If you put these together, you get the sound j, j, as in gin, gin, joy, joy, and edge, edge. Now we have t and sh. This gives us the voiceless sound ch, as in chair, chair, nature, nature, and teach, teach. You're doing great. Let's keep going. Next we have the g and k. Again, these are the same sounds except the G sound, the g, is voiced, and the C or K sound, k, is not. G, g, get, beg, beg. As you can see, there are many ways to spell the k sound. We most often use a C, but you can also use a K or a CK or even a Q for this sound. K, k, cat, cat, kill, kill, skin, skin. Watch that SK. Don't put a vowel first. Queen, queen, unique, unique, and thick, thick. The next one is tricky for some. For a V and F, you have to put your your lower lip onto your top teeth, the bottom of your top teeth, like this. Some languages have an F sound, but not a V. If you can make the F sound, f, f, you can make a V. V. It's the same sound, except the V is voiced and the F isn't. Try it with me. V. V. If you're doing it right, your upper lip might tickle. Very, very. Now, if you say this one incorrectly, you're going to be saying the wrong word. You're going to be saying the example I have here for F, which is fairy, fairy. Practice. Z is tricky for some too. In Spanish, the Z does exist, but it's pronounced like an S. You need to use your voice with Z. If this is hard, try humming with your mouth open, like this. Now keep humming and move your mouth to the S position. Keep humming. Now you're making a Z sound. So use that sound to say zebra, zebra. S is much easier. It's the sound of a snake. S. Our example is sofa, sofa. How are you doing? Remember, practice a lot, practice slowly, teach your mouth how to make the sounds, and soon you'll be speaking as clearly as a native speaker. Did you know that in English we have two X sounds? It's true. One is voiced and the other is voiceless. Look at the IPA. The voiced X sounds like gz, gz, exam, exam. Now look at the voiceless X. It sounds like ks, ks, as in extra, extra. I used to teach that a Q is always followed by a U in English. This is no longer the case. There are few words that have come from other languages in which Q doesn't have a U, but almost all of our Q words are followed by U. You may remember that all vowels are voiced sounds. Well, Q is voiceless, and it sounds just like K. It's the U that's voiced and sounds like a kind of like a W when it's put with a U. Queen, queen. Okay? These are some voiceless sounds that don't have a voiced counterpart. H in English is an easy sound. The only way it's easier is when it's not pronounced. In some languages, that's the case. But to make an English H, all you have to do is breathe. Ham, ham. The next sound is not really used by most Americans. British people may still make this sound, but we usually don't. It sounds like wha, wha. And we used to make this sound when we said when. Now, most people say when. When. We'll look at that IPA symbol. The upside down W is the symbol for the wh sound. Here's some voiced sounds that don't have a voiceless counterpart. The first one is the W sound Americans make instead of the last one we looked at. It sounds like w, w, we, we. The next sound is going to make some people happy. The IPA symbol that looks like a J, but in the IPA, it sounds like ya, ya, yellow, yellow. Danish people are going to like that. They know that sound should be this way. That's the end of the single consonant sounds. I'm going to take a few moments, to go over some blends here so you can get some practice putting two sounds together. We'll go over these fairly quickly. Remember, if you get confused, you can rewatch any part of these videos, or you can send me a question and I'll answer you. Here goes. The first sound is bl, bl, blend, blend. Next, br, br, brush, brush. Here's one with the funny IPA symbol. Ch, ch, church, church. Cl, cl, clear, clear. Uncle, uncle. Cr, cr, crush, crush. Next, dr, dr, drive, drive. Fl, fl, flood, flood. Fr, fr, French, French. Gl, gl, glove, glove. Gr, gr, grand, grand. Pl, pl, plan, plan. Pr, pr, prince, prince. Sk, sk, scary, scary. Skin, skin. Here's this sound by itself. It sounds like shh, shh, shadow, shadow, and sn, sn, snake, snake. Sp, sp, special. No vowel sound first. Special. St, st, start, start. Last, last, sw, sw, swallow, swallow. Now we've come to the TH. We actually have a voiced and a voiceless TH. To do this one, you need to put the tip of your tongue on the bottom of your top teeth, like this. The first one of these sounds is as in think, think. The next one is the voiced TH. These, these. I hope that's not too difficult for you. Next one's tra, tra, trip, trip, twa, twa, twin, twin, wa and wha, whichever one you want to use, when, or when, when. If you choose to make the wha sound, be sure to only use that sound when the word has the H in it. For example, don't say when for win, W-I-N, win. Got it? Cool. And that's the end of my presentation on the IPA. From now on, I may use the IPA when I'm explaining how something should be pronounced. You can refer back to these presentations if you forget what a symbol sounds like. You can also print out the handout that I'm including here if you want a reference sheet. And that's it for me. Until next time, I'll see you, and don't forget to be kind to each other.